Good evening and welcome to a very special edition of the Squared Circle, brought to you live from Gaetano's Tavern on Main, on the green in Wallingford, Connecticut. Our pre-Mania party. In just a couple of hours, WrestleMania is going to start, so we're going to get some predictions from our sold-out crowd here, and we'll see who comes up right, who comes up wrong, and what Mike Fogman thinks about it, and of course, Jacob Zimmerman. Friends of the show, right here, Ken's Cards, all this wonderful merchandise you can find down there, courtesy of Ken's Cards. Ken, another friend in the show. Andre the Giant, my favorite. I think this might have to go home with me today. So we'll start off with the Fogman. Fogman, how's the dinner tonight?
Oh, absolutely wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Jay, I'm sure you had your fill. What'd you think?
I get to hold the mic number one because I am awesome.
Yeah.
This is a very good place. I recommend it.
Excellent, excellent. We're going to talk about the upcoming WrestleMania that you'll be watching in a couple of hours. The tag team title match will be Team Hell No, Kane and Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston. Our sources tell us that this will be the YouTube match prior to the WrestleMania, so they're going to give this one away for free. Yeah, they're going to give Dolph Ziggler away for free. Now, I'll predict that since they're going to give him on the YouTube channel for free, and he's not going to be shown on the actual pay-per-view, that he's going to appear somewhere later on in the night. What do you think of that?
I believe so, because he's got that money in the bank, so he's got to cash it in. It's WrestleMania. That would be the best part to do it in.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to say, and I think Fogman will agree, that he's going to go after Jack Swagger, cash in the money in the bank, and that'll be his WrestleMania moment.
Former tag team champs, and they were a team. I don't know. I think it'll be good.
I agree. What do you think, Jason?
Well, my name is Jacob.
Yeah, I know. I got two Jasons in the room, and I'm used to talking to Jason. I'm sorry.
Well, if Vince and Kenny McMahon and his writers were smart, Dolph Ziggler would cash it in and make it a triple threat match to maybe screw Jack Swagger out of the World Heavyweight title.
I don't know about a triple threat, but I do believe that Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler will see action together at WrestleMania. Jack Swagger is going to have the world title match versus Alberto Del Rio. So barring any shenanigans there with Alberto Del Rio getting the belt, giving up the belt, I think if Swagger has the belt at the end of that match, we're going to see Ziggler come out.
Absolutely. That'll be a shame, Swagger getting that belt.
Yeah, especially the things that happen outside the ring, in his personal life. I think his punishment is just around the corner. I've said on the show, I do like the Zeb Coulter, Jack Swagger promos. They're perfectly politically incorrect, and they hit the right buttons, and Vince got a ton of free press in the real, quote-unquote, the real media. Yep. And they were taken totally seriously, to the point where they had to break kayfabe and do promos as themselves. So, I really think he hit the nail right on the head with that.
Definitely. I agree with that totally. That culture.
So, another rumor that I'm hearing is that Mark Henry broke his leg at a house show. And different reports vary on how severe this injury is. Now, if that were true and he was unable to make the WrestleMania, what do you think is going to happen with Ryback if he's not going to face Mark Henry?
Who else could they bring in for Ryback?
Are we going to throw Ryback back into that the three-man tag?
It's a possibility. It is definitely a possibility. I wouldn't think that would be good, though, with them pushing Big Show the way they were doing. I don't know. They've got to find somebody better than that. Yeah,
in the strange world of sports, anything can happen, and especially the classic line is, the card is subject to change. Absolutely. What do you think about that?
Ryback can face anyone at any time. He can really face those skinny guys that they just throw in, or just any random guy, open challenge match. So Ryback anytime, anywhere, just like the man who held the Hardcore Championship. I totally forgot his name.
The Hardcore Championship. Well, now the Hardcore icon, Mick Foley, going into the Hall of Fame. That'll bring us to the Hall of Fame. Mick Foley, Bob Backlund, who was at NHTV Studios not that long ago. Trish Stratus, 100% satisfaction on my part. Bruno Sammartino. Hell has frozen over. Bruno Sammartino, WWE Hall of Fame. He's going to be inducted by none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Donald Trump, yeah, is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame for shaving Vince's head. And Booker T. So, yeah, you're going to see the highlights of that on WrestleMania later on tonight. I believe Hollywood J's ready to come into the picture.
Hollywood J has arrived.
Hollywood J has escaped from the Aces and Eights once again.
Once again. You ready to start this up or what?
Absolutely. We are ready to start this up. We were just talking about the possibility of Dolph Ziggler being the YouTube match and not actually being on the card at WrestleMania. So his appearance would be a run-in maybe on Jack Swagger to cash in on Money in the Bank. What do you think?
What you're seeing, it's Dolph Ziggler's time to shine. He's had that briefcase for
Way too long.
way too long. This is going on way too long with him, and you got to figure what happened, Jack Swagger and his run-ins with the law.
Retribution is just due.
Exactly. What's going to happen is Dolph Ziggler is going to cash that briefcase in on the new world champion, Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger is going to have the belt for about 30 seconds, maybe, if he's lucky.
Yeah, enough time for Ziggler to come out and ring the bell.
Uh-huh.
Ring the bell.
I want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight. We are here right before WrestleMania 29. They're going to have a packed house over there at MetLife Stadium. And the crowd's going to be crazy. I mean, who would have ever thought WrestleMania would have gotten to the point where you're in a football field? We started out with Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 2 was Madison Square Garden and Los Angeles. I remember when I was a kid going to see WrestleMania 3 at the New Haven Coliseum on closed circuit. Who would have ever thought it would have came to this?
Yeah, well, you know what? Vince did revolutionize the industry and closed circuit TV into New Haven Coliseum for us around here, civic centers all around the country, and it was a new idea at the time, and cable was just brand new for most of us in our homes, and then a couple of years later he had it right into our homes with the advent of pay-per-view. And now we've seen it grow from just WrestleMania to WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Survivor Series, Undertaker made his television debut at the Survivor Series right here in Hartford, Connecticut. And much to historians' dismay, that was not his actual debut. It was his television debut. And we know who his debut was, right? And who might that have been?
Mario Mancini.
Mario Mancini in a taped match that was actually taped prior to the Survivor Series.
Mario Mancini was the guest on the Squared Circle about a week ago, and that man, he can tell stories. He'll go on and on and on for hours. We could have done the Squared Circle from 7 o'clock at night till midnight. Probably even later.
Right, and still been there. But yes, Mario Mancini, friend of our show here. And if you're watching this show, I assume you've seen that episode as well. And he was just fantastic. And he definitely was the first match for The Undertaker. What do you think? Undertaker, now we're talking about him. What's your prediction on that one?
Undertaker Punk. I'm gonna say Undertaker. I don't think Punk. Punk. It's too much with the Punk. We gotta get rid of him. So I'm hoping this year it's Punk's going down.
Well, as I've said on the show, I think that Undertaker will win, and I think there's going to be interference from Mr. Paul Bearer. I am still not convinced, and we'll find out later on tonight. Maybe I'm a fool.
It would be
Maybe.
the best. It would be the best work in history.
Oh, I think it will be the best work in history. I think somehow the urn is going to come out with the light inside of it, and it's all going to be lit up, and Punk is going to turn around and say, "You're supposed to be dead." Because Punk is playing around with the urn every week now. He's juggling it and he's dropping it. You know, he attacked Kane with it, and
I somehow just, all it is they're making a story out of the unfortunate demise of William Moody. I mean, you gotta understand, I mean, if the guy was really alive, I think Vince would be in a lot of trouble. I think he'd be alienating a lot of people, and I just don't think it would be good for business. I think he would never have minded what they're doing now, CM Punk juggling the urn around and, you know, making a story out of it, because Paul Bearer always wanted to have a good story flowing. So, I mean, it's a rather controversial thing. I mean, they all picked it up apparently from the WWE website, but, you know, rest in peace, William Moody. That's you know, my opinion. I don't think he'd want to take the chance. He already tried faking his own death once, Vince McMahon.
right.
And a week after that, as unfortunately, when you saw Chris Benoit and that incident take place.
So they had to break that storyline and pay them due respect.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, having said that, he's already faked his own death, right? And God knows how long they were going to stretch that out and how far they were going to take that actual storyline. And you know, the Undertaker is the dead man. Kane has, you know, been buried alive. So it's not an unusual story to put out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think it would be the greatest work ever.
It would definitely be the greatest work ever, but I think we have a great crowd here tonight at Gaetano's. I do want to thank Gaetano's Tavern here on Main and Wallingford for letting us come here and hosting our event. We have great food. We still have some great food left. You guys kind of started without me a little bit. I was over there enjoying my meal, but I thought it was. I was like, wait a minute now. First he's taking over. Now what? He's going to be behind the North Haven Aces and Eights now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but
I even got his seat. I got the center seat.
You even took the seat. Yeah.
First time ever. I got the center seat. I'm in control of the ship.
You're in control of the ship for now. I mean,
Warp speed.
Warp speed.
Mr. Sulu.
We're still expecting some more people to show up.
Oh yeah, it's early yet at Gaetano's. The drinks are flowing. I don't know. We might have a special appearance by a wrestler from the past. I think we got a little surprise up our sleeve. But
we got a few surprises here, but our partner from our brothers and sisters in Public Access Centering. What do you think tonight? How's it going over here tonight?
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Don't forget Ken's Cards.
Absolutely, Ken's Cards. A friend of your show,
really gotta
friend
get
of our
down there.
shows.
You
Yeah,
really gotta get down
you
there.
gotta. Well,
There's nothing they don't have.
That would be up there for us at
Oh,
the
yeah,
moment.
absolutely.
Yeah, it would be north of here
Berlin.
in Berlin, Connecticut. You know, they're online at Ken's Cards.
Yep. 27 Mill Street.
Yep.
And they're online at kenscardsonline.com.
Yep. Ken'sCardsOnline.com. So check them out. I mean, Rey Mysterio here.
It's a nice
What would you
action.
say? About 18 inches tall.
About that.
That's almost life size
Yeah.
for Rey Mysterio.
It's about half the size of him.
You
The
know,
real life.
And we're
Rey Mysterio.
raffling off our ECW figure over there.
Yeah, we're having a
Signed, Just
raffle
Incredible.
autographed from the ECW original, just
I believe that
incredible.
figure went for 50 on eBay.
eBay,
Yeah.
$50 autographed,
Yeah.
or just
Well,
straight
with the
up?
autograph, probably a little more. But
Yeah, the autograph. You know, you're not going to find that anywhere else but Ken's Cards. But you know what? After tonight, I think it'll be mine. I'm going to buy some raffle tickets myself. Like I said, Andre the Giant, what a fantastic figure by Jakks Pacific.
Absolutely.
You know, I do miss Jakks. I miss the Jakks figures. I don't like the Mattel ones.
Yeah, they all look the same.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't had any collectibles since I was a kid.
I'm sorry. I don't think Fogman and I have grown up quite yet.
Absolutely not.
You know, I mean, we're going to have a battle royal later on with these guys.
We got the bobbleheads over here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fun, man.
But you can have Stone Cold. You can't miss Stone Cold.
Yeah, you can't miss Stone Cold. I think the shine off of his head might be reflecting onto us. So, just to go off topic for a moment, we were all just at last Saturday night, the PWA, the card in Shelton, Connecticut.
Great card.
What a fantastic show. Buzz Buzzsaw in the main event, just, I can't say enough. Him and Lucifer Lords put on a performance that would embarrass, well, definitely would embarrass anyone in TNA. Anyone in TNA.
What's TNA?
Right,
We're not
exactly.
here to talk about TNA.
You know
today.
what? Yeah, you know what, guys? You got to get out to see a PWA show. They have the next card they have coming up. Might be a little bit of a ride, but you know what? Get yourself
Gardner, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Where exactly is Gardner, Massachusetts?
It's not too far.
It's not that far. It's
Springfield area?
the National Guard Armory. Yeah, just past Springfield a little bit. So from where we're sitting, it's about I would say about a 45, 50-minute ride. Depends on who's driving, I guess.
True.
The National Guard Armory, 323 West Broadway Street, Gardner, Mass. PWA, Fall of the Cards. Mega Morte and Joseph Von Schmidt.
That was amazing.
They're going
Put
to
on
be
a
sending some representatives
fantastic
our way
match.
tonight, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You're in
We're,
with these guys, right? You
we're
told
expecting
them.
the PWA to show up here.
Murte said he wants a piece of the Bronco.
Muerte, just a fantastic match. I can't tell you how great this card was.
It was.
You got to go on Pro Wrestling Academy Connecticut.com, Pro Wrestling Academy CT.com.
I still have yet to go to that school. I have to get down there one of these nights.
Christian Frost, West Raven was a great match there.
Yeah, West Raven, Christian Frost. West Raven, a lot of high flying action. A la Evan Bourne.
Frost trying to wake blood on me. I kind of that's Frost.
Well, you know,
It is who he is.
you know, you sit front row and you're up close
Oh,
and
I know.
personal. You're going to get blood, sweat, and tears on you,
He's trying to
and
wipe his blood all over me.
you know, and the best heel in the business for me, for my money right now, Pedro Wandonis III,
Oh, absolutely.
on the mic, in the ring.
I like Mac too, though.
Yeah, Mac. Yeah, Tommy
Not as
Mac.
good
Yeah.
As Pedro. but-
You know, Heart Attack Tommy Mac is made it through the second round of TNA's Gut Check, and I hope he makes it in and can teach them a thing or two about how to put on top to bottom every match. Great
I
show.
almost had a heart attack during a couple of those matches.
Yeah.
Got Candy Cartwright. Oh.
Oi.
You love the girls there.
Yeah, Candy. Well, you know what? I'm more of a fan of Tina San Antonio
He
myself.
was a good friend of mine, but that Candy, I'm telling you, I almost had a heart attack there.
Yeah, and just top to bottom, you just can't beat it. You know, the tickets were relatively inexpensive, less than a TNA or a
Right.
WWE product,
But
and you know
definitely
what?
worth it.
Definitely worth
That's
it.
typical of your indie shows. I mean, you don't have to pay nearly as much as you would to go to SmackDown or Raw or TNA, and you get more action. You get way more action because Raw, SmackDown, they do a lot of talking in the ring. I don't think I saw them pick up one microphone, to be honest with you, the other night.
Well, they had some film.
Dread did a promo.
Yeah, they had some. Yeah, Bull Dread did a promo. Connecticut's own Bull Dread, friend of the show, friend of all of our shows. Yeah, and they had some film promos before before the card began. But I failed to mention the date, April 20th. April 20th. That's right. You're going to be recovered.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner. You're going to be recovered from tonight's WrestleMania show. And April 20th, you got to get out. Gardner, Mass, PWA, Fall of the Cards. And I think we're going to see some of the storylines wrap up a little bit. And might see some new rivalries
Don't
start.
forget Nocturne and Blizzsaw, new champions.
Yeah.
tag team champions.
Yeah, Nocturne, another guy
Tag team
off the top ropes, right, from the turnbuckles, jumping all over the place. Just fantastic action.
Don't forget, also, since we're on the subject of Indy cards,
Yep.
don't forget May 4th is CTWE's BRESTLEMANIA.
CTWE,
So
Bricomania.
at Ken's card that day, May 4th, you can see Bobby Lashley and Trent Beretta. So, how could you go wrong?
Bobby Lashley
And
Bobby
Trent
Lashley.
Beretta will be
and
at
Trent
Ken's
Beretta
card.
will be at Ken's cards.
Earlier that day, well,
May,
How did
May 4th.
Rico manage to get
May
a hold
4th.
of Bobby Lashley?
Rico is Rico. He comes up with a lot of stuff. I don't know.
He used to be in TNA. Well, I don't think he's involved with
Bobby
TNA.
Lashley?
Yeah.
Last Bobby Lashley, he
He
was
was.
doing some MMA fighting.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is he returned at an NAW show not too long ago.
Yes.
And he's gotten back
He's
into
been working
wrestling.
for Big Time. Big Time
Big
was last
Time,
week.
yes,
And
BTW.
Danbury, Connecticut had
Yep.
Ric Flair. That was a heck of a show too.
Yeah, yeah. You know, Connecticut's getting a lot of these guys, and it's
You got to get out to the shows. That's the
yeah.
only way you're going to see them.
You got to get out. The indie shows are where it's at right now. You know, you're going to see some great new talent. Tomorrow stars today, and you're going to see some of the classic guys that
That's how you get to know 'em.
you can't get up close and personal at a TNA show. You can't get up close and personal at the WWE. You got to go to the
I
indie
know,
shows.
Fogman, your episode of Center Ring after the Royal Rumble,
Yep.
I remember that whole episode, you didn't even mention the word Royal Rumble at all.
Absolutely not.
Because you're all about indies.
That's right. We're all Bundies in Center Ring. Only because WWE has their own people. They don't need us to be talking about them. That's just my opinion, though. But, hey, it's all right.
It's all right.
Ah, absolutely. I enjoyed the Royal Rumble. I watched it. I bought it.
Well, once in a while, like this is the season. Tis the season to be a WWE
WrestleMania is
fan.
different, so
Right, exactly. WrestleMania is the Super Bowl,
big show.
Oh,
is the World Series of
And
wrestling.
like I said, for CTWE, Bricomania is their WrestleMania.
Right, Bricomania.
Rico-mania.
Right.
Yeah, he's got a little ego there. He names it after himself.
Yeah, that was really creative. I mean, mania,
He didn't put much thought into it.
No, I get.
That's Brico.
Where's Showtime Steve Stamos tonight?
He should be on his way here. Actually, he's he's out at the gym with Nikki Nitro, Australian wrestler Nikki Nitro.
We're
Yeah.
all at the gym together.
Another former guest of the Squared Circle, Nikki Nitro. If you watch that episode, Nikki Nitro, Nikki V, two gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Which brings me to, if you watch the Logo channel, they have a new documentary about the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, and they show interview with one of the former stars of Glow that went on to be Ivory in the WWE. So if you check
Ivory.
it out, you can see Ivory as she looks today, and you know what? She's still a damn knockout, or I should say diva, I guess. Yeah.
Knockout is TNA.
Yeah, I know,
It's the
but
wrong
you know
league
what?
now.
She can knock me out any day. Yeah, she still looks great, and they show footage of a reunion of the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, approximately 18 years after, the demise of that show. And it's a great documentary. It's on the Logo channel. I believe they're going to put out a DVD, and it's definitely worth checking out. And the strange thing is, right now, we grew up watching the gorgeous ladies of wrestling and the silly skits and
I
stuff.
like
And
the Nitchka.
yeah. They have her, and they show her today. She does the accent and the whole dealio. But I watched some of the older episodes, and I'm like, God, how did I ever really watch this?
Right, no, I know.
It doesn't hold the charm that it did, but it's still a lot of fun.
I think it's because we had nothing else to watch.
You guys taking a look at the Shimmer League yet?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
comes with a lot of
Yeah.
the Shimmer
Sarah Del Rey is now, coaching all the girls in the WWE. She's training all the divas, and I'm all for that because her product in the ring is absolutely head and shoulders above any of the girls out there right now.
Yeah, speaking of that, I don't see anywhere on the WrestleMania card for any divas.
I don't see anything for divas at all. There's a speculated match tonight with two girls that you're kind of familiar with there, or Stevie's kind of familiar with, I should say, Brie and Nikki Bella.
Nikki Bella or one
Rumored tonight
pop when they're
with Tamina Snuka, with the Rhodes Scholars, against Brodus Clay, Tenzai, and the Funkadactyls. You think you're going to see something like that tonight? You're definitely going to see Brodus Clay dancing around at some point. They're going to have to bring that.
Fandango.
You gotta get it right now.
Ding-dong.
Fandango.
You know what? Fandango away, please. Oh, this guy's horrible. The guy's horrible. You know, Johnny Curtis. Yeah.
Johnny Curtis. Why don't they just call him Johnny Curtis?
Why? You know what? Can we just dig? Can we just dig the grave for his career right now?
Whatever it is, I tell you what. You know something? If he doesn't get in the ring tonight, I think Vince McMahon should come out and fire him.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It doesn't matter how if somebody gets his name right or not.
Yeah.
This is
a gimmick. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick, and it's not a good gimmick.
It's not a good gimmick.
That's the sad part.
It's a gimmick that probably won't last very much longer.
Right. I'm
If it
saying
can-
get a grave ready for his career because it's going to be over really fast.
It's over really fast. And looks like that food might be over pretty soon. If I mean, the crew from the wrestling academy is going to show up, and they're going to be
That's all right.
starving.
I'm sure we'll raid the kitchen. We'll definitely have some more. Gaetano's is treating us very well this evening, and I'm sure they're going to be more than filled.
More than filled. I'm stuffed right now. I couldn't help myself. All the great food we're having tonight.
Yep.
But you started out with the tag team title match.
Yeah.
Team Hell No, Kane and Daniel Bryan. They've had the tag titles for a while now, I should say. I mean, a few months now.
I think we're looking at an eventual breakup and a feud between the two of them. It's run its course. They've done all the silly gags and goofy stuff that they can possibly do. Kane, I think with the Undertaker, I think we'll see the end of the Undertaker, and Kane and Undertaker may just walk out of WrestleMania following Paul Bearer that is going to return, and I think all three of them may ride off into the sunset together. My opinion.
Well, then you got Team Hell No taking on Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston. Biggie Langston, who is the FCW champion, I believe, or now it's called NXT, formerly Florida Championship Wrestling. That guy is huge. I could see Langston going far. I can't see them walking out of WrestleMania with the tag belts.
Yeah.
I think this breakup between Kane and Daniel Bryan is going to happen at some point, but at WrestleMania, I'm not so sure. I think they're going to walk out of there as the tag champions. I don't know. Team Hell No. Team Hell No will retain.
Right.
Team Hell No will retain.
Ziggler's got bigger.
Yeah, Ziggler's got bigger and better things. Yeah, but Team Hell No has to break up at some point. And like I said, it's run its course. We've seen them do all the goofy skits that they can possibly do.
Absolutely.
And it's really just getting tiresome. So break the two apart, have them have a feud like that always happens with former tag teams. Let them have a feud, and we'll take it from there.
Just take it from there.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting.
Not too long ago, Vince released on DVD the Hulk Hogan No Holds Barred DVD. Talk about a blast from the past.
Wow.
That, God, how did we watch this and think this was entertaining?
I know.
But No Holds Barred.
How
Right?
can we watch any Hogan movie and it was entertaining?
Well, yeah.
I can remember Hogan dressing up.
Commando, Mr. Nanny.
I can remember the Mr. Nanny, and that kind of turned me off from any kind of Hulk Hogan movie whatsoever.
Thunder in Paradise.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But speaking of No Holds Barred, Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. We found out the stipulation 2 weeks ago, and Triple H must retire if he loses.
Triple H must go back into the office if he loses.
Well,
Why don't we just call it what it really is?
Yeah, it's a perfect segue into getting Triple H into the executive position that we all know he's destined to take. Mm-hmm. And knowing that Brock Lesnar has extended his contract with WWE, Brock Lesnar's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Hopefully get rid of Heyman. He's all over the place.
You don't like Paul Heyman?
You know I love Paul Heyman, but the fact that he's almost been gone how many times? It's his time to leave. He was almost fired.
He was almost fired.
Almost.
Almost fired, and then that's when Brock made his return.
Yeah, we've seen a preview of the Payback poster. The next pay-per-view after WrestleMania, and Brock Lesnar is on the poster. So,
Payback is in July.
Payback's in July. I'm
Payback
sorry.
is in July.
Extreme Rules is next.
Extreme
All right,
Rules.
so-
We have
all
to
right,
get
so
through
all
tonight.
Right. So all the way out through July, we saw the poster's been released for Payback, and Brock Lesnar's on it. So we know, as I said, Lesnar's not going anywhere anytime soon. So I predict Lesnar wins the match somehow or other. Triple H goes off, becomes the new Mr. McMahon character, and I think we'll see less of Vince in that role and more Triple H coming out and doing the executive, you know. And I really want to see that. You know, I think it's a new
I want
dynamic.
to see Stephanie come back. Absolutely.
You think Stephanie's gorgeous? Stephanie is gorgeous.
Yeah, she is.
I want to see more Stephanie.
Having worked on Linda's campaign, I had the distinct pleasure of meeting Stephanie a number of times, and what a sweetheart. Very nice, and she really took a shine to my sons, and couldn't have been nicer to us. And hopefully Linda runs again. I say Congress this time.
I think governor.
I would like to see her.
I think she stands a much better shot of getting the governor's mansion than she does. I mean, taking a House seat, that would be like almost a step down from the Senate. But you know, not to talk politics, but I think Malloy, you know, might be in trouble if he has to go up against Linda.
Yeah, he might be up against the ropes.
He might be up against the ropes, the top ropes, the middle ropes, the bottom ropes,
Yep.
anything like that. But my thoughts, here's Lesnar. Here's a guy he left going to the UFC. He's tough. He's, you know, I mean, maybe it didn't exactly work out in the UFC, but I mean, you got to be tough just to be in the UFC at all. And he's coming back, and I think they want to. I think they might give Lesnar a push within the next couple of years, you know, of his contract. He might be a future champion again.
Yeah, you know, I think we're going to see at some point Brock fight Ryback or Big E Langston, because you know they're the only two guys. Yeah, the only two guys that are approximately his size. You know, Mark Henry being rumored to have broken his leg is probably going to be out, and there's nobody else that, you know, big enough for Lesnar to really face. You know, I mean, he already fought Cena.
As long as
Yeah.
you keep Langston off the mic.
Yeah,
Langston
but
just
yeah,
can't talk.
yeah. His
Triple
voice-
H is going to beat Brock, though. I think for this evening.
Yeah, that's we'll see in a couple hours, but you know, I would have to disagree. I think we're going to see the retirement of the in-ring retirement of Triple H. You know, he may, like you said, take over that Mr. McMahon character.
Sooner or later, he will.
Yeah.
I think as long as Vince is alive and of sound conscious, you can still see him come out and do that. He loves being that character.
Yeah, but you know, I think, you know, going back to if Linda runs, he's going to stay out of the spotlight like he did the last time she ran. So I think this is a really smooth transition out of moving Vince, you know, from that spot, putting Triple H into that spot. And I think at this point, Triple H is going to be more effective in that, you know, ownership role, so to speak.
He'll be,
Be a scary one.
and he is younger, obviously.
Yeah,
He's still in his. I think he's only in his 40s.
Yeah.
So he's, you know, he could be the chairman for a while. What's your trivia question?
When Triple H comes out to the ropes and he spits, what is he yelling? Does anybody know what he yells? What is
I don't know. I don't notice him yelling at all.
No, he does. He talks. He mouths something, yes.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know what he said.
I think he's saying money. Money shot, baby. Money shot.
All I see him is well, I can't do it with
Thank you for coming.
my a beverage here, but
Yeah, let's not.
anyway,
We
yeah.
don't want to ruin Ken's Cards merchandise.
No. Okay, what about the 6-man tag? Oh, actually, we'll go to that in a minute. Mark Henry versus Ryback. See, I was looking forward to that, and the latest report that I had was Mark Henry's injuries weren't severe enough to keep him out of action.
The report that I heard is he broke his leg, and he's not going to make it tonight.
What does that do with Ryback then?
As Fogman and I were saying, he might go back into that 6-man with the Shield. I don't know.
But with this,
That 6-man though is getting tiresome.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I can't tell you it's not. I'm tired of seeing it.
you know what the problem was with the Shield? There's only 3 of them. If there was 7 or 8 of them,
For a minute there, I thought Henry was going to join the Shield. It looked like it.
I still want to, I've said on the show before, I still want to see the Shield get the tag belts and do like the Freebirds did, have the Freebird rule, and any 2 at any given time can defend the title. I think it would add another dimension to it that we haven't seen since the Freebirds. So I like to see it happen. Just something different. Haven't seen it in a long time, and eventually you're going to have to break them up. And Roman Reigns is going to be the top star out of the 3.
Roman Reigns, my sister kind of likes him a little bit. I don't know why, but
Maybe from a female perspective,
yeah.
who's the better looking?
I don't get involved in anything like that. You know,
Maybe she's got some romantic notions.
who knows?
But who
What's,
knows?
wrestling's enough of a soap as it is.
Our PWA star Christian Frost had a dark match with Dean Ambrose.
No, I was not aware of that.
Absolutely.
He was saying that previously over there on Center Ring.
Yep. Dean Ambrose and Christian Frost had a dark match together.
There we go.
Von Schmidt's had several.
Oh yeah.
Von Schmidt's had several.
Von Schmidt.
He doesn't really. He's not the type of indie guy that goes out and talks about that though.
No, he's definitely not a braggart.
Yeah,
he's
not a braggart.
very
Well,
soft-spoken.
Christian was also a security guard during Big Show when Big Show was talking to Sheamus and they had to separate him, and he was just getting. He was getting.
Which time I saw there was a lot of times between Big Show and
Yeah, it was,
there was about 20 different times.
It was the same time the indie guys faced Ryback. Do you remember when he like crunched all our indie guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ryback would take on like 3 or 4 people at a time.
She'd be morons.
So what's a good what? So right now the Shield match is Randy Orton, Sheamus, and the Big Show taking on the Shield.
Yeah, you know what? I honestly think that's a waste of Sheamus's talent. I think that Sheamus should have had a singles match at WrestleMania. I don't know what happened to the Sheamus character. I thought he was great coming out of the coming out of the gate. I always liked him. I thought he was a strong figure. He's got a great character. He's got a unique look about him. And, the fans have really caught on. They have really taken to this guy. And then they're just throwing him in the, with Randy Orton tired.
Like Del Rio ruined.
I have 2 words for Sheamus: State Beach.
Yeah, you'd have to have SPF.
I have another 2 words for him: tanning booth.
He's absolutely Irish though. He'd be red. He'd be like a lobster.
Yeah, he won't tan.
I don't think they do tan.
No. Oh man, we might have to edit that statement out.
What?
I don't think they tan.
Well, I mean,
I apologize to any of the Irish.
maybe they don't. I don't know.
That was for entertainment purposes only from Jason.
What's that, Thunderous?
Yeah, the Thunderous one.
I'm Irish too.
But let's see. We've got
What else we got?
a former friend of the show and a former co-host of the show in the house tonight. Maybe we can coax Mr. Jordan Izzo to come up and give us some predictions. We haven't seen him on the Squared Circle for several months now. And
You calling Jordan out?
I'm going to call Jordan now. I'm going to give up my seat. And let's have Jordan come in and say a few words.
I thought Jordan was. This man doesn't work here anymore.
Never surprise returns. WrestleMania brings a lot of surprise returns.
I guess so. I guess. How much did he pay you? Because you told me you didn't want to be in front of the camera.
I wasn't exactly ready for this, but it's nice to see the wonderful people of North Haven and the surrounding areas out there. You could have held it for me. It was okay. So, let's see. All of a sudden, I'm the host of the show. Would you like me to sing? Yeah, you future endeavored me, you little rotten crud ball. Huh?
I don't know what that was all about.
I wonder what's going on here now. You future endeavored him.
Yes, he did.
What's going on with you and Holy?
I got this
Didn't you do that to
email.
another co-host that's under
Jay,
a bridge right now? You did that to another co-host that's under a bridge.
You just can't get.
I saw these guys in masks. I don't know. I'm kind of afraid for my life. And next thing, I tried calling you, and the next thing I knew, you were in a coma in a hospital somewhere, because they call themselves the Aces and Eights of North Haven.
Yeah, I've heard something about that group. I heard that they were more interested in you than anything else. I mean, from what I've seen.
They did try injuring my leg a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
You don't want to see what they did to my car. I couldn't make it up to Chicopee the last time.
Oh, Jay, you
There's
know what?
somebody's-
Let me tell you something.
I just
For
got
all-
it out of the body shop.
For all you know, I could be behind Aces and Eights. You don't know that. You could have put the guy up here that was responsible for all that.
I don't think you do that, though.
Mm.
I've known you for a few years now.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll just let it go at that, because the people are out there, and let's talk to the people here. We're having a great time here at Gaetano's tonight. The service has been wonderful. Fogman, it's good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while. Let's go over the card. Why don't we do that?
We've been going over. We'll go back to. We'll just rewind the tape since you're back over here now.
Well,
What are your
I'm
thoughts?
back over here for a short time, so.
I don't
just-
think. Yeah, exactly. You were paid handsomely, I understand. And anyway, Team Hell No versus Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston.
Oh
about it?
boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy.
I think on that one, I'm going to. Dolph Ziggler is becoming a very hot item
He is.
very
He absolutely
quickly,
is.
and I'm going to go with
But I don't
Dolph.
see him. I don't see him going over in that match.
I think you're going
I
to.
see AJ screwing it up. To be honest with you,
I think you're going to see some dissension between Team Hell No.
it was good to see AJ.
Yeah.
Skipping around the ring.
Love
Oh,
AJ.
absolutely.
I can't lie about that. I'm wonderful to see that. Anytime she's out there, I'll watch the match.
Oh, I love
don't
her
fall
too.
asleep.
I love Miss Mendez better than anybody. Let me just say though, I think Dolph. I think they're going to take that. I think you're going to see some dissension between
The little flick
Team
there.
Hell No. I think you're going to see a little breakup going on there. You know, the good doctor did his best, but sometimes your best just isn't good enough. In the words of the great $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. What we got
Sometimes it
next?
isn't. What do you got next? I understand Mark Henry is injured. He was supposed to take on Ryback.
Right
tonight.
back. That's okay.
So if Mark Henry does not show up to take on Ryback, who do you think is going to take on Ryback tonight? What's a good replacement?
What do you think, Fogman?
Honestly, you got me on that one. I don't know.
Me too. I mean, I want
I would like to see Goldberg come out.
that would
But you know
that
it
would
would
be
never happen,
nice.
but-
That would be nice.
That'll never
It's
happen.
WrestleMania, but you never know.
Think of another big guy. Who do you think would really, really fit the bill here? Mark Henry. Now, we're not going back old WWE
Ryback.
days where...
Ryback, you'd have to turn the great Khali bad again.
Khali is a name to throw out there. Khali is a name...
Yeah.
I mean, anything can happen. And Khali is... Let me tell you something. He's the size that we're looking for.
I could see Langston against him, though, but Langston's too green. He's too new.
He's too new on the
Too
scene.
new.
Yeah, I would have to agree there. I would have to
But it
agree
would be a
there.
good match. They're both monsters.
Well, I'm trying to think the primetime players and their old manager there, and he had that other guy he was talking to, Abraham Washington,
Yeah.
and
Abraham-
Mason Ryan. What about Mason Ryan? That's somebody we haven't seen in a while.
Mason Ryan. I don't know. Versus Ryback?
Versus Ryback. Nah,
Ryback would eat him.
I don't see it
Ryback
happening.
would eat him.
I don't see it happening.
I don't either.
We gotta think of.
We could call PWA and have Mega Murdy come down. Mega Murdy was
Mega
Might do
Mega
it.
Muerte.
Where?
Muerte,
Mega Muerte.
Whatever it is,
Gotta
he's scared of him.
save her.
He's a big guy.
It's huge.
Absolutely.
They could bring him in as the Undertaker and Kane's like baby
There you
brother.
go.
He's that, you know.
So what was your opinion on the Mark Henry replacement? What did you?
See,
you're
I
the-
really don't
you're
know.
the host of the show.
I really don't know because the last I'm kind of thrown by this. What John's saying because the last report I got was he's okay to compete. So I'm just I'm trying to rack my brain trying to think of who. What about what if they let Batista come back? Batista,
That would be good.
his MMA career, I think it lasted approximately one match. That lasted 2 minutes.
He's been rumored to be around Batista too, a lot.
Batista did not do. You know what? He's a better heel than he is a good guy. He's not a good. He didn't play that role well, in my opinion, when he was there. He got beat up a lot. He got kicked around a lot. Batista's got to be a heel. Put him up against Mark Henry. I mean, it can happen, but you know what?
Ryback.
Excuse me, Ryback. I'm sorry about that. You put him up against. Yeah, you know, it might work. It might work.
You know, he's asked the Bronco over there. He wants to fight back.
Bronco's always willing for a fight.
What do you think there, Bronco?
He's just looking at you like,
Well, he does want a piece of it. He does want a piece of it. Camera's on you. I don't know.
you got no comment.
What about Ryback? You want to break his little back?
Yeah, I want to reconstruct his little back.
Feed me. We could always ask Stamo. We could
No,
always,
you had enough to eat. You had 2 plates of food over there. You don't need any more food. Don't even be sitting there saying, feed me more.
feed me roids. That's Ryback's. That's I look at Ryback and that's all I could think of.
But Batista and Ryback would be an awesome matchup. I would love to see that. It's not impossible. Moving right along, though.
Moving right
We got-
along. The next one is the group of gentlemen known as the Shield. The Shield of Justice. Believe in the Shield. Believe in what? Believe in 3 guys that come down from the crowd and just attack innocent people out of nowhere for no reason.
And to think Paul Heyman had nothing to do with it, so he claimed.
Paul Heyman had nothing to do with the Shield, but
Would never lie.
No, Paul Heyman is.
Would never lie.
speaking of the Shield, I think we've just been invaded. Look at this.
I think we've got some welcome visitors here.
We got some welcome visitors. The Shield versus Randy Orton,
Bring 'em right in.
Sheamus, and the Big Show. What about it?
Shield, where is it?
We are Randy Orton, Sheamus, and the Big Show.
I'm gonna go with the Shield.
I'm gonna go with the Shield too.
That one seems.
The Shield will keep winning, and eventually, 2 members of the Shield are gonna wind up with.
They won enough already. It's time for them to go down.
They'll keep going until they get some belts.
Well, you know what? Let me have this a minute. We thought Aces and Eights was going to go away a long time ago, and look how long it's been lingering.
not even going
And I said back when I started, when we debuted this show last September, I said, God, I hope this goes away soon. I know Jay here felt the same way, and you know what?
Let's introduce Little
It was
Schmidt real quick.
it was around for a long time.
Let's bring him in
Oh, look at this.
All right,
from the Powerhouse Wrestling
Welcome.
Academy. Little
welcome
Schmidt.
aboard.
How you doing?
Hi, Little Schmidt. That's it.
How you doing, guys?
Great.
We're doing great.
How's it
How about
going?
you?
Good, good.
Welcome to the celebration.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Nice to see PWA representing tonight.
I'm here with the champ too.
The champion is the champ is here.
Champ is
It's not
here,
exactly
here.
Cena, but the champ is here.
The PWA champ is in the building right now.
He's in the house.
In the
In
house.
the house. That's right, in the house.
Yeah, we can bring him out whenever he's ready to. Well, we'll let Little Schmidt go here.
Yeah. So
So you-
what's been going on lately? Any upcoming events? Anything you want to talk about?
Well, our next event is on April 20th. It's on Gardner, Massachusetts. It's called Fall of the Cards. The matches are not yet set. It's gonna be a very, very interesting show. Lots of surprises. A lot of things are gonna change. You guys are gonna be in for a big, big surprise once April 20th gets here. It's a lot of things are going on, and trust me, everybody
Big changes with PWA, huh?
big changes, and a lot of people are gonna be happy with such changes.
Exactly.
Change can be very good. It can be positive, and you know what? I'm looking forward to that myself.
I was very impressed with the card, your last card. But unfortunately, I don't know what happened to my camera.
Aces and eights.
I went
I know nothing.
I went to get my camera out, and all of a sudden I saw the dead man's hand right there. I don't know. I'm not talking about the Undertaker neither. I mean,
No, we know you didn't see the Undertaker.
no. No. Hopefully the next time. I'd like to present your work to the fine viewing audience of North Haven, Connecticut.
Thank you, thank you.
Definitely.
Well, as you guys saw last Saturday, Joseph Von Schmidt and myself were able to take one over Mega Muerte.
All right, we've got some happy people in the house.
That's right. Shut up, Lucifer. Commissioner Robinson
Must have felt pretty good.
Oh yeah. Commissioner Robinson thought that he was pretty smart by having me handcuffed in the ring. Who does he think he is?
What a crumb.
Just because he's the commissioner, he thinks that he can put me in harm's way. I got beat up by Mega Muerte, and I was defenseless. So I had to take matters into my own hands. I put him on a cross arm breaker in the ring, on the ropes, and he was begging for forgiveness. You guys saw that. Everybody.
Don't you love when people beg like that after you've been done wrong?
That's right. And then my master, because he is the man that he is, he's that smart, we were able to outsmart the referee, the commissioner, and Mega Muerte himself, and we got the win.
The referees are not always that difficult to outsmart. Let's just put it that way, straight for the record.
Some referees.
Any thoughts, Jay?
So some referees go rogue like Brad Maddox did there. I remember.
And then you have Double Dave Hebners and
The two Hebners.
yeah, the two Hebners.
Then you got Terran Terrell over in TNA.
And Gary Bischoff.
Garrett Bischoff. Yeah. Can't always trust the ref.
No, you usually you don't look at the ref and kind of trust it all.
No.
So, any thoughts here, Jay? You want to continue with the card? Or you wanna
Well, we're gonna ask
discuss-
Little Schmidt what he thinks about WrestleMania tonight. So,
So what?
we're talking about. We just talked about Randy Orton, Sheamus, and the Big Show versus the Shield. But what about the no holds barred match between Triple H and Brock Lesnar?
Well, we have to see a few angles here. Triple H has had 3 matches since WrestleMania, if I'm not
Since
mistaken.
last year's WrestleMania when he tried to defeat the Undertaker.
And what has he been doing in the ring? He's very respected. He's a very good performer, a good entertainer, great wrestler. But his time is up. He's done. He has done everything there was to do except beat the Undertaker. And it's time for him to step down and let the rest of the roster in WWE take his place and just mix it up a bit, just change things, because every single week we see the same things, same matches, same people. WWE needs to step it up a little bit.
You know, I have a problem seeing Triple H go down in this one by Brock Lesnar, being the history that these two men have together, and the broken arm and whatnot. You know, I'm gonna say Triple H is gonna show himself here, whether he's done or not. I don't think he's gonna just go down and out to Brock Lesnar. And what do you think?
Like I said before, I don't think he's going to go down and out to Brock Lesnar neither. I think he's had all this frustration, and we saw the match at SummerSlam. We watched it over at that watering hole over there in North Haven, and and Triple H was defeated by Brock Lesnar, and he's been basically forced to retire already and go up into the front office. And he claims that, you know, every day that he works out, he started training again, he started working out, and he felt as if he didn't have any purpose to his workouts. And
Well, don't forget he left to help Linda with her campaign too, and he was doing other
Yep.
into other things.
He was into other things too. He's kept trying to get his mind off Brock, and he couldn't do it. And then when Brock came out and attacked his father-in-law, I think that's what I think he's got revenge on his mind going into tonight.
Absolutely, and you know what? I can honestly, I don't see him losing to Brock Lesnar. I just don't see it. I don't see him going out of the picture as a loser. If he does in fact go out of the picture into the front office like you're saying, I don't see it. Believe me, the history between these two men is very thick.
He'll go back into the front office when he's ready to go back into the front office. I mean, he can do both. I mean, he can train and think about Brock and then go in for a board meeting or two and then come back out again. He can always do that.
He can do anything he wants because he's a WWE superstar that's made a name for himself, and he's up there, and he's, you know, he's got it made.
He married into the family.
Into the family is the bottom line. That's the best way to put it.
He married into the family. That is exactly the best way to put it. I want to get your thoughts, especially on this, as this is one of the more controversial matches tonight at WrestleMania. The world title match, Alberto Del Rio, Latin American heritage, having the title, taking on somebody that is, he's grasping the discussion, he's taking on the discussion in his whole gimmick about immigration reform. And it's very controversial. He's taken on the former, he used to be Dirty Dutch Mantel in WCW. Now they call him Zeb Coulter. Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger, they put on these YouTube videos, telling Mexicans or whoever that they need to go back onto the other side of the fence. And it's a very, we could debate that issue for the next 3 hours. It's so controversial as to what to do. But whatever the case may be, Jack Swagger is just taking this to wrestling, and he's brought it to wrestling. I think maybe it started out in the indie scene. They actually had a gimmick, and it was put on 2020, and I think that's where they got the idea. But Del Rio versus Swagger, what do you think about that match tonight with all this controversy, of course?
Well, I'm a big fan of Alberto Del Rio. He's Del Rio.
Alberto
Yes.
Del Rio.
Yes. Alberto Del Rio, he's a great wrestler. The one thing about him right now is, I don't know why, or I don't know if a lot of people agree with me, but he has been losing his touch. I don't know, maybe it's because he's not coming out on his cars anymore, or
I think he needs
something.
to bring the cars back.
Maybe if
I
he
agree.
stopped renting the cars.
Even if he's babyface, he can still come out in the car. It's not a
Yeah,
big deal.
Eddie Guerrero did it, both heels and face. But coming back to Alberto Del Rio, I'm rooting for him, personally. But I don't think he's going to go over. I think Jack Swagger is going to take the title away because, one, they brought Jack Swagger back from an injury, from what I understand, and he won the Elimination Chamber. He earned the spot, and lately with WWE, person comes back from injury, gets title shot, and they win the title. You've seen time and time again with several wrestlers. And look at The Rock. The Rock came not from injury, but came from making movies, took the title away from Punk, which I think was the worst move WWE could have done, personally. But that's how the storylines are going on with the company, unfortunately. And again, this is just my perspective on it. Like I said, I'm rooting for Alberto Del Rio. I think he has a very good chance to retain the title. But I do think that Jack Swagger, somehow, some way, he's going to use his little goon to help him out.
Disagree. Oh yeah, definitely the little goon is going to go in and interfere. But you know what? This, as Jay said before, is a very controversial angle in which the WWE it, and I don't see Del Rio going down in this one. I think he's gonna retain his title. You see these two? What do we have over here? I mean, we got all this stuff on the set here. See? I mean, all right, we'll make this guy
We'll just pretend
Swagger.
Oh, now
We'll
we're
make
using
this guy
action.
Del Rio. I just see like that, you know. And there you go. I think it's somebody's gonna get.
I can't tell who is who over there.
Well, that's all good. I think Alberto Del Rio is going to win this one.
I think in order to fuel a controversial gimmick and make it more controversial and make more people more upset with the character, because they did this with Sergeant Slaughter when he won the WWF back then title, when he took on the Ultimate Warrior, after he turned his back in America and
I remember
sided
well.
with Saddam Hussein and Iraq. I think that they even further infuriate the Latino community, or even anybody, period, they're going to put that title around Jack Swagger.
But you know what? That was on also with Eddie Guerrero and JBL, back when Eddie Guerrero was the champion. JBL was in the on the
war.
on the border, and he was kicking people back to.
Yeah, this is kind of a remake.
Right, and a lot of people are they're on the fence on this particular storyline, because they want to build Jack Swagger as a heel right now, but a lot of people feel very strongly on immigration, and
there has been a lot of feedback on this angle.
right, and people agree, people disagree. All we know is that tonight in WrestleMania, the crowd is going to be divided.
It's going to be you got to keep something in mind. And this is where I think that the briefcase with Dolph Ziggler is going to come into play too.
Oh, the briefcase.
It's about time that he cashed in his money in the
Here's
bank.
Jack Swagger winning the world title, and his music hits, and then all of a sudden, here comes Dolph Ziggler.
That's
Well-
certainly a possibility.
What about the other way? You know, I mean, Alberto somehow
Retains.
Alberto retains the title. The little goon comes in. They beat up on him. They beat him to a pulp. Here comes Jack Swagger. You know, I mean, excuse me, Dolph Ziggler rather.
Dolph Ziggler.
Here comes Dolph Ziggler to cash in his money in the bank. Why not?
That's definitely a possibility. I think Dolph Ziggler should cash in money in the bank tonight, and he should become world champion, because he's definitely world champion material.
Pillar of power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey. Ooh, yeah.
All right.
Stand back. Dig it, dig it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dig it. Dig it, dig it.
WrestleMania, you never know who's going to come back.
All right, who do we have
Well,
here?
this is certainly a surprise.
How you doing? Good, good.
It's a not so dead Macho Man.
Yeah, I mean, there's this talk going on about Elvis being alive, but I didn't think that it was possible more than once. So, Jay, why don't you handle the first question on this one?
It's good to see you're back.
Ooh, yeah, dig it.
Dig it.
So, where could we see you, Mach? Where are you gonna be?
WrestleMania 2, me and Tito Santana.
Oh, yeah.
Diana, if you leave that match with your life and not the belt, you be a lucky Tito. That's what you be. Because I am the greatest wrestler, past, present, and future, and I'm still living now. Ooh, yeah.
You look like you're a lot younger now than.
Yeah, you're going back in time. I wish I could do that. Get all these grays off my hair. Head, whatever. It's good to see you back from time because I grew up watching you. You were one of my favorites. I mean, you always were. There's the pinky on it. It was me. Ooh, yeah, it was like that. The pinky in the face.
Pinky right there.
Yeah. So
I didn't mean to cut in on this man's promo. I'm gonna let him continue. I'll be right over there.
Oh yeah, well, absolutely.
I saw the look on his face. He got a little scared. So.
Hey, if we only had a ring, folks.
Yeah, run a while.
If we only had a ring.
We only had a ring. Where did you get him, John?
I told you I had special guests.
John,
WrestleMania comes, you never know who's going to come back.
let me tell you something, folks. John Zimmerman is the man. He can come up with anything at any time, and there's no telling what's going to happen.
Johnny, you're a crazy man.
Oh, yeah! Get me a condo on the moon.
Condo on the moon.
Macho Man. Anything can happen. WrestleMania season, anything can happen.
Wow, this really is turning into a soap opera. Macho Man's alive.
The squared circle.
That's right.
I brought Macho Man back. I'm bringing Paul Bearer back. You heard it here, baby.
You know it's not altogether impossible. You just never know.
I tell you.
What I wanted to make sure that I touched on before I depart from here is I want to talk about those last two matches, that the very important
Yeah, we'll
ones,
get your opinions
CM
on
Punk
those.
and Taker and Cena.
We'll get
This match.
we'll get your thoughts on those, and we'll get some other people's thoughts on those. Too.
That's
Since you have to get on your limo pretty soon. And head
no,
up-
I got time. I just
You
don't,
got-
I want to give John, his afford. This is his spot.
Oh, of course. Go right ahead.
My opinions on the matches.
Go right yes.
All right. I don't see Taker being defeated by CM Punk. It's not going to happen. What do you think?
The Undertaker will defeat CM Punk.
Yes.
It's an automatic.
I think this should be answered by the PWA champion, Lucifer Lords. Please come.
You're bringing
come
it.
on over here.
Yeah, we're having a big party here, folks. Anybody could step up. It's not restricted.
Just because you're the champion, will
PWA World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Lucifer Lords. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm hurting still.
You're hurting. You're hurting.
A week later, I'm still hurting.
You're feeling it.
It was a brutal match I went through.
Tell us about your match first.
Oh, I don't want to change the subject just yet.
No, go
We'll
ahead.
talk about WrestleMania. We can get to my match after.
Okay. You wish to do that? Let's talk about that.
My match will be made up then.
Your match could be the big
CM Punk, Undertaker.
Yeah, we're doing CM Punk going up
Undertaker.
against Undertaker.
Easy. You know why? 'Cause
Me too.
CM Punk's the only guy who could have a match with him and make it worthwhile. Everyone else is either booked or too old. That's what WWE's like. They need Punk to go in and completely own that match and put Taker over big. That's the only way I see it happening.
Punk's gonna give him a good match.
Punk's going to give him an excellent match.
He's gonna
But-
give him an excellent match.
But Punk will definitely go down if he ends up in Hell's Gate. He's going to go down.
I don't think you're gonna see anything like Paul Bearer coming out.
You know what?
I think Punk's gonna walk out with the urn, and he's gonna juggle it around and try to rile up the Undertaker, which is gonna be the wrong thing to do, especially at
What is the possibility?
WrestleMania.
What is the possibility of a Paul Bearer look-alike coming out? I mean, just let's touch on that. It's
I could
possible.
see Heyman coming out in a black suit, but I think that would be the extent.
Being Paul or coming out
Yeah,
as
kind
Paul
of like-
Bearer.
Not as Paul Bearer, but at least maybe a suit, maybe with the urn, kind of. He'll come out
To
first
mock
and
him.
say, "Oh yeah," and then.
Here's
CM Punk-
something I'm thinking of really weird they could do. That urn has some kind of hypnotic effect on, or some kind of effect on whoever happens to own it. And Jordan, what about this? What if they do something crazy, like all of a sudden CM Punk starts acting like The Undertaker and Paul Heyman starts acting like Paul Bearer just because they're in possession of that urn? It's some kind of like, it has some kind of it's like an hallucinogenic drug.
You're getting really, really psychological with that one. You know, I mean, I don't really see that happening, but that would be definitely an odd direction to go.
It would be an odd one.
Really, really bizarre direction to go. I just don't see that happening. But I do see it's possible that a pallbearer, if not the pallbearer, will show up somewhere else. Never know. You don't know.
Never know.
Now, one more thing, because I want to give John his spot back. It was nice spending time with the people of North Haven and the surrounding areas, but I do want to just touch on
The WWE title.
The WWE title. Okay. Do you see John Cena cleanly winning this? Because
Yes.
I don't.
Rudy Pebbles.
Rudy Pebbles.
Rudy Pebbles.
I want to see John Cena win this. I mean, I don't necessarily like John Cena very much. I think he's just basically he puts people in seats. He sells T-shirts. The kids love him. The women think he's hot. I mean, he only has a couple big moves, and that's about it. But he does a lot for charity. He does a lot for the kids. He does. He'll go to hospitals and talk to sick children. The Make-A-Wish Foundation, you know, he's been over there to see our troops overseas.
Well, let me just say, okay.
Go ahead.
That, because I want to, like I said, give John a spot back. I can see Cena pulling a victory out, but I don't think it's going to be a clean victory. I think there's going to be some chicanery. I think CM Punk, it's very possible that CM Punk is going to put himself in this match, get involved, and I know The Rock is busy doing things in Hollywood, and he's not going to be around long, but there's got to be a twist, folks. There's got to be a twist. I just don't see a regular pin, 1, 2, 3 submit. I mean, it's going to be a great match no matter what, but look for some twists.
The Rock calls himself the People's Champion, but he's only a part-time People's Champion because every year after WrestleMania, he goes back to Hollywood and he disappears.
I understand.
Cena stays around the whole time. That's one thing you can say about him.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me. It was nice to see you all again.
I appreciate it.
And with that, I give John his spot back. Thank you very much.
Come on back. It was great to see you, sir. Wow. How much? He told me no way, Jay, I'm not coming on the camera. What did you say to him?
Maybe I told him that Macho Man was going to be here. Maybe I told him when we were going to have the PWA champion. Maybe I told him that Little Schmidt was going to be here. Come on. You know, I'm pulling all the stops out. It's WrestleMania week. First of all, I want to thank the members of the Powerhouse Wrestling Academy for coming down. Always good to have these guys. You fellas are great friends of the show. Joseph Von Schmidt, excellent product. We were talking about the fall of the cards earlier, and we did mention that Saturday you hosted us. We had a great time. And match of the year candidate right here, sitting right next to me.
We'll see.
Put TNA to shame. Hey guys, Vince Russo, go to hell. Hire this guy right now. Hire Von Schmidt right now. I am a member of the Von Schmidt Nation. And then,
TNA, I don't know if TNA can afford me.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I want a real storyline.
Yeah. You know, Joseph Von Schmidt can write a better storyline than what's going on in TNA and most of what's going on in WWE right now. I gotta say, man, Saturday was just incredible. From top to the bottom, the whole card. The twist with the double masks and Mega Muerte, fantastic. And just you and Buzz Bloodsaw putting it all out there. I mean, that was the best in-ring that I've seen anywhere. And I'm not just blowing smoke, man, because you're sitting here. And I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. You guys put on a fantastic show.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, there's two of us out there, and it took two of us to have that match. I can't take all the credit. I did my part, he did his part, and that's what the result was.
I'll take the credit.
You can have 1% of the credit. I changed my mind. I'll take it. Buzz was alright. I'll give myself 90. He can have 10 because I'm champion. But no, he's quite the competitor. We both beat ourselves up pretty well, and you know it's for the championship. You have to lay it all out on the line.
Yeah, and I saw afterwards you had quite the injury. You posted a photo of it online, and you still made it down here. I saw you come in on the stretcher, but we won't say that.
He dropped him off, okay?
Yeah, Wallingford's finest dropped him off in the ambulance. But I'm glad to have you down here. And, you know, the best thing after the match, I got to say, you know, when you guys got out of the ring, you walked up to one another and respect. You shook hands and, you know, right in front of the fans. You didn't do it backstage, right? You did it right in front of the fans. And we got to just applaud you for that. That was fantastic.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's, you said it's respect. You know, when you have an all-out match like that, you just, you know, you thank each other and you realize, like I said, it's for the title. You know, it'll probably happen again. Who knows? Not in the next show. Sorry, Buzz, but you know, he'll get his time in due time.
Well, tell us about the school. You know, we always talk about, you know, you guys can be sitting here. You guys can be in the ring. You can be fighting Macho Man, possibly. The Pro Wrestling Academy, Powerhouse Wrestling Academy, Positive Place. No, Positive Place is where you
Positive for the show. It was on
have the show.
33 Chestnut
33 Chestnut Street in New Haven, Connecticut. I'm sorry, I get my dates and times mixed up.
It's all right.
I don't even know where I am. It's WrestleMania weekend. It's crazy. But tell us about the school.
Well, the school's very simple. It's the only place to train in Connecticut. It's probably the top 2 to train in New England. You know, Von Schmidt knows what he's doing. He puts his students first. He wants you to succeed, and he trains you the right way. Trains you the right way about the business, on the scene, in the backstage, and in the ring. Everything you need to know, he teaches you, whether it's from taking your first bump or doing your promo and just doing what you got to do in the locker room. Even the guys off camera with ring crew, everything. You learn everything top to bottom. I mean, anything you want to say about the school, Mr. Little Schmidt?
I'm going to be on the spotlight too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll break kayfabe for
There you go.
30 seconds.
For 30 seconds. One thing that people need to remember is that if you want to step into the ring, you got to train. And to me, the best place to train, and you've been on different schools, this is my one and only school I've been training on, is the best one. And I've heard from other people as well that they have trained on other schools. They really like the way we train, because the way we train is what we do in the ring for the fans. There's no shenanigans, there's no fooling around. We take this business seriously because it's a business. It's not for everybody. That people need to understand that whoever is stepping into the ring, we're putting our lives in the line. We're not just making fun or trying to get some laugh out of everybody. We're literally trusting each other, putting our bodies on the line, our lives on the line, our careers on the line. And in order for us to do that, we train every day, several hours a day. We go to the gym, we train in the gym, we go to work like everybody else. And when the weekend comes, when our shows come, we put everything out there so everybody can enjoy what we do.
You know, I'm sure you guys are sick of me hanging out at the gym with my fellas, my boys. We come down, and
We enjoy everyone who comes down.
You know what? Every time I come down, these guys are 100% focused on what they're doing, right? Complete gentlemen outside the ring, right? Complete professionals inside the ring. And you did mention the crew. You walk into a PWA event, you're greeted at the door. Everybody's happy to be there. Everybody's willing to help you out. You guys have done charity raffles, given your proceeds to a number of different causes. You know, so not only do these guys have full-time jobs during the day, they come out and train on their own time, and then they come out and entertain us on top of all of that. And so you guys have like 2, maybe 3 full-time jobs. You know, what you do during the day in your personal life, training is another full-time job, and entertaining us is yet a third job. And the girls at the merch table, the fellas at the concession stand, every one of them has got a smile on their face. Every one of them has a kind word to say to you, a nice word to say to you. There's not a frown in the place. And everybody, you know, after the match, everybody helps out. bringing out the equipment, tearing down the ring.
I can't get
and-
over that. It was like a team effort.
Yeah, and and there wasn't.
There's like 10 or 11 guys, okay, everybody grab a 2x4.
Right.
Let's go.
And it was like, and there was nobody there. It was like, oh, really? Do I have to? No, it was just, get it done. And it's the old-fashioned, hey, let's put on a show. Whether it's, a high school stage production and everybody gets together on it, or a professional production like you guys.
Kind of like a rock band packing up their equipment and loading into the trucks afterwards.
Yeah, and it's just from top to bottom. You guys put in, and it shows. You guys put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, and when you go out there, you give us an awesome product. And again, I've been to a number of the indie shows, and these guys work really, really hard. And you need to give yourself a pat on the back, and extend it to the rest of the crew and the fellas in the gym. But I got to tell you, I've been down. We might have a call out.
Uh-oh.
Really?
I've already been called out once in the past week, so I don't mind another one.
Really?
We can clear this table off, guys. So, did you cover what's coming up next for you guys? April 20th?
I have Grim Reaper's #1 contender. He won the Tough 8 trophy against Azrael, so that'll be an interesting match. Reaper has a good at least 10 years, right, or more in the business.
10 to
Has
12 years.
defeated many top indie guys, and I don't know what to expect from him. You saw him with Azrael on the last show. He's
Oh, yeah, he's quite the competitor.
yeah.
Yeah, we've seen him not only on our show, we've seen him on other promotions too, and he's a tough competitor. I've seen him do crazy stuff.
Now, were you on the road with Joseph von Schmidt? Did you do any of the road shows?
I have, yeah. This past 2 weekends ago, I couldn't go. I was actually tied up with some personal things.
Yeah.
But prior to that, Joseph von Schmidt, he won the FTW championship.
Right.
With the VSN at his side, he beat Mega Muerte and the Rockstar, who was the FTW champion. And we went together
Yeah.
to...
What?
We're getting attacked by Ken's cards.
You're getting attacked by Ken's cars.
Oh man. Yeah, Joseph von Schmidt, he won the FTW championship.
What a talk,
on the show. He brought it home to the PWA.
I guess I
roster.
And where was FTW?
FTW
Where do they work
was-
out of?
Long
They're
Island.
based in New York.
Yep.
Mainly in Long Island, but they do go to Queens.
Yep.
And they are partnered with House of Glory most of the time.
Okay.
In the VSN, Joseph von Schmidt and myself, we make our presence.
Yeah, for those of us not familiar, VSN is Von Schmidt Nation,
That's correct.
which I am a proud member of. I don't have my shirt on today. I thought I'd
Schmidt
get.
happens, right?
Yeah, Schmidt happens. So, have you gone on the road?
I
You
have
done any
gone on the
shows?
road,
Yep.
yeah. I moved, where have I tried? Ohio, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania.
So I know the boss has had quite the road trip the last few months,
And
and
we have
follow his
another-
progress.
We have another show coming up April 19th, the day
Yeah, what-
before our show.
Yep.
We're gonna be on West Virginia.
Well, that's quite a ride.
I don't know who booked that card. Somehow I got booked against Buzz Bloodsaw again. I got
Wow.
to talk to someone about that. But
Again?
I guess West Virginia's going to get to see a show.
West
'cause,
Virginia is definitely in for
Yeah,
quite.
I don't think they
quite
know
a
what's
show.
going to come into their
What was
arena.
that
Eventually,
was
you're going to be fighting him up and down the eastern seaboard, probably.
Yeah. I
What-
think there are people who call us the new Cabana Punk.
What was the length of the match last Saturday? That was a good 25
Yeah,
minutes.
I think roughly about 25.
Yeah,
It was
that's by my
old school
estimate.
Jerry Lynn RVD style.
Yeah, and you know what? There were no rest spots in that whatsoever. There wasn't, I'm going to hold you in the headlock for 5 minutes. It was all action. 25 minutes of pure action. Even in the UFC, they stop in between rounds and sit down for a minute. You guys didn't sit down once.
I think I was in a Boston Crab once, and that wasn't really a rest spot.
No.
Yeah, it hurt a little bit.
Even a break isn't a 10-minute intermission. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, the 10-minute intermission, you guys are out there shaking hands, signing autographs, posing for pictures with the kids, letting the kids hold the belt, and it's a real family-friendly operation, and it's just great to be at. It's just a lot of fun, and you guys, like I said, I can't say it enough. You guys work your tails off, and even like I said, during the intermission, you're out there, so you don't even take a rest. You guys are out there shaking hands and, you know.
We're working all the time.
Working
Every time
hard.
there's a show, we're working from the moment we step into the building until we get out after everything is all said and done.
Now, you fellas went to the house show for WWE. What'd you think of that a couple weeks ago?
It was something.
I wasn't able to make that one. I usually go, but.
It was
I had the Skybox seats.
Right.
You'd have hit me up.
Yeah.
I would have told my security detail to let you in.
Yeah, I don't know if I could have
I
got the
think
night
more-
off from
more
work.
good action went on after the show than during the show.
Oh yeah. I heard about that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, we'll keep down the down low.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's for the
That was
the
Hollywood J personal box.
the bonus features on the DVD, I think. the after dark session of the Squared Circle. So, any shenanigans on the road when you guys are out there? Flat tires, AAA not showing up, wrong hotels.
Yet.
Because Hollywood J, you got any GPS problems? Because Hollywood J definitely needs a GPS.
Actually, we did have a GPS problem coming back from Lancaster.
Oh, yeah?
Needs to stop messing
The
with my
GPS
car.
took us to this weird road, and we saw just mountains. Well, actually, there was a mountain on one side and a base on another side. We did not know where we were. It took us like 20 minutes to get out of there, but we
You
got
know
home
you're in the middle of
safe.
nowhere when the GPS can't pick up service.
Right, right.
It was bad. It was scary.
Well, I'll tell you, if you ever have your GPS and you're going through Chicago, you go underneath the L, you're screwed. There's no signal whatsoever. So you think you know where you're going, you go underneath the L, and then the GPS craps out. And then you're like, you know what? I need a map. I need a good old-fashioned piece of paper that's not going to lose service. But, yeah, Jay can't find Chicopee, Mass. I think he...
I can get there blindfolded.
Unfortunately, that's how he drives blindfolded.
If the ace is an ace, we just leave my tires alone.
Yeah, if we ask our good friend, the Thunderous One, he'll tell you Chicopee, Mass may not even exist in Jay's mind.
I love Chicopee, Mass. I love NEFW. When I do get up there.
If you can find it.
Well, if
But
I have a drivable car.
maybe you guys can give him a tow to Gardner, Mass.
You can ride in the back of with the ring.
So, what got you guys into wrestling? Who's your favorite guys growing up? I'm sure you watched it like all of us did as kids. You know, where did it come from? Where's your love of it? Now, you weren't in the States, so I mean, your experience had to be a lot different
Yes.
than what we had. So, why don't you start off?
Well, I remember watching wrestling about, almost 20 years ago. That sounds bad. Oh my God.
I'm older than you, so you know.
But I started watching wrestling almost 20 years ago.
Yep.
Because of where I was, there were reruns and they were like months behind of what was actually happening. So I couldn't really follow their storylines. I just liked the guys beating each other up.
Okay.
Basically, that's how I started. And little by little, I started researching it, and I found my favorite was Shawn Michaels. Still is my favorite. But my top 3 favorite wrestlers at that time were Michaels was the first, Austin, and The Undertaker. Those were my 3 favorite guys.
Stone Cold.
Watching them, and I remember playing with my friends, although it was a bad idea. Playing with
Don't try this at home.
Definitely not.
No backyard, no trampoline.
And I just moved to the States. I continued following wrestling, went to house shows whenever it was possible, and I was very glad to see Shawn Michaels. He was the only one that I was able to see wrestle on the house shows. And I was happy, and I never thought I would actually become a wrestler myself until I went to a PWA house show last year. And I talked to Joseph Von Schmidt. I told him that I wanted to train, I wanted to learn the craft. And here I am.
Now you're a little Schmidt.
That's right. You're only as good as you want to be. I
Well,
dedicate.
you probably didn't want to be that good then.
Oh, no. You did not say that.
Oh,
Really?
Wow.
Really?
Fight. All right,
Hey,
fellas. All right, you're responsible for the damages. We'll put an addendum right there.
No, but it's been great this past year, training with the guys, meeting new people. It has been worth it. I think it's gonna be worth it continuing.
And while I was at the show on Saturday, I picked up DVDs of all of your previous shows, and so I did see like the growth of your character and the changes you've gone through, and you can see the progression of the little Schmidt in the ring, outside the ring, doing promos, and you've definitely improved your game as you've gone along. And I suggest to anybody, pick up the DVDs. They're really inexpensive, and it's a lot of good fun to revisit some of the old shows, and particularly the show that featured A.R. Fox. I wish you guys could get him back. A.R. Fox was a fantastic match, and I just keep rewinding that spot where Von Schmidt from the second rope, dumps him into the ring. It was, yeah, great
Second row
stuff.
German suplex.
Yeah, there you go.
He's tough to book. He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
He's actually going to Mexico in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Might be there now.
Oh, he probably.
I think he just got to Mexico. He's there for a few weeks, and he comes back to WrestleMania weekend for Dragon's Gate.
Yeah. So I believe he was the Dragon Gate Tag Team Champion.
Yes.
Not too long ago.
He still is, I think.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
CZW television champion, I think, right?
Yeah. He's quite the worker, and it's unbelievable.
No, he's very good. Very good.
And you guys always bring in some great talent. You guys had Christian Frost come in. You had the ECW Zombie. You can pick that up on the DVD. That was a lot of fun. I was at that show, and it's just great. You guys always find something new and innovative, and something extra to give the fans. But I'll let you talk. Your memory of wrestling as a kid, what you got into it, and all that.
I remember in elementary school picking up the WWF Raw magazines, and I don't even think I knew what was going on. All I knew is I was a Hitman fan, and the glasses I think did it in. All I wanted was the glasses. I don't even know if I watched Raw. I can remember buying the Raw video game for my Genesis.
Yeah. Oh, back in the day.
Yeah. And I think that's what started it.
It reminds me of a heart.
Yeah.
For some reason.
With the Hitman Lulo.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we'll go with the character change later on. But
Hitman Lords.
that might work. I don't know.
Yeah.
Come out with a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Maybe in the heel
The
days.
Dungeon Lord.
Comes.
There you go, the Dungeon Lord.
That's it.
But I remember going to an event in the early '90s, and like that was it. I was hooked. I watched all the way up. I remember finding the group of friends in school that liked it and made friends with them fast. We'd go wherever we had to at the time to watch the pay-per-views. Then we thought the pay-per-views, $30 was like $1 million, and we'd come
Wow,
up.
I wish there were $30.
Yeah. And followed all the way up and never grew out of it. I guess I'm still a big kid in his 20s now doing it. It's the guys who never grow out of it. I just continue doing it.
And we feel like even more kids because we are there.
Right. So you get to live the dream.
The weirdest thing for me, I think, I don't know how you feel, is wrestling in front of my friends. Like the same friends that I would go to their houses on Monday nights to watch wrestling are now coming to my shows to watch me in the main event. It just seems weird how that played out like
It's funny
that.
how time just progresses on like that.
Yeah.
No, all my friends live in England.
Yeah, because they can see you on YouTube.
Yeah. On YouTube.
Actually, a lot of my friends have found out that I became a wrestler, and they call me. They're like, "What are you doing?"
You're the afraid.
Well-
Don't you know that?
They tell me, "Oh, it's fake." Oh, well, it's not.
No.
People get injured,
if you
people
take
die.
If you took a look at Lucifer Lord's ankle right now, you would believe it's not fake.
Yeah.
It's definitely not fake. Falling
He's
on the
not-
floor
he's
is not fake.
He's not faking an ankle injury.
No, not at all.
Or a quad injury or a back injury or all rolled into one. I have one injury from head to toe, I think.
Shoulder injury.
Yeah.
Well, I asked this question of the girls that were on. I think I might have even asked this of you before.
Yes.
If Vince McMahon were to offer either one of you a contract, what would you tell him?
I'm trying to think what I said. I think I might have said no. depending on the money. You know, doing what I do now is fun because I have my freedom. If he's gonna come and say, you know, $200 a week, whatever, and you have to live by my rules, I don't know. $1 million a year live by my rules, it might persuade me a little bit more. But it's nice having the freedom to work where I want to work, travel where I want to travel, and do what I want to do in the ring. But I mean, of course, as a guy in the indies, you want to walk down that ramp. You want to be on the website. You want to be known. Put it on the resume, WWE superstar. Even if it's for one day. Yeah, that's the main goal. You got to get there. That's what we work for.
You don't want to be stuck with the Fandango gimmick,
No.
right?
Yeah, I know. Did you say it right, or is you have to say it
I
right?
don't want to say it right. I could care less to say it right.
Fandango, I'll just say it just the way it sounds.
I know. Yeah, I order my movie tickets from that site, but why? You know.
What about you?
Did you work for the McMahons?
For the McMahons. Well, at this point of my life, I don't think I could work for WWE.
Hopefully Vince doesn't see this.
No, really?
Well,
You might take it as you might take it as a challenge. You know?
Well-
Hey, throw somebody at these guys to see if you can get them to say yes.
well, the thing
$1
is,
million challenge, right? Sorry.
right. No, the thing is, I have a family, and I couldn't be in the road that long. I want to
It'd
see
be
my
a big sacrifice.
right, and it's either I sacrifice all the money that they may give me, or sacrifice my son's childhood, and I think that's more important to me right now.
Amen. I applaud you for that. So, absolutely.
You might be giving up your chance to be part of the Hall of Fame sooner or later. We got to talk about that pretty soon.
Yeah, we mentioned Mick Foley, Bob Backlund, who also a friend of NHTV, Mr. Bob
course.
Backlund, Trish Stratus, Bruno Sammartino, Donald Trump, and now Booker T was just announced.
Yeah.
I think it's a stacked card, and I don't see how they're going to get. Bruno Sammartino. Honestly, they could have done the Hall of Fame induction ceremony just based on him. Why we need like 5-6 other people is beyond me.
That's
You
what they
know.
do every year, though. They have about 6 or 7 people. It's
Yeah.
it's a pretty standard Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah.
I think Bruno Sammartino. I think that's long overdue, and I'm very, very glad that he's decided to let his guard down. Very stubborn man. All these years, no, I will not be part of it. I will not be part of it.
Yeah, from what I understand, it was a lot of hard work on the part of Triple H, Paul Levesque, to get him to accept,
Lot of
because Vince and Bruno, I mean, the bad blood goes back for years and years and years. So, Triple H must have really schmoozed this guy. But what do you think? What do you think of the list?
The list is definitely stacked. Like I said, I mean, I feel like they should just do away with the celebrity wing.
Yeah,
My
I agree.
opinion.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, Trump is probably the best one out of all the celebrities because at least he hosted 2 WrestleManias at his place.
Yeah.
Right.
And he
Yeah.
was
He made Vince McMahon some money.
and
Yeah.
he was a part of another WrestleMania himself.
Yeah,
with the
famous
hair
getting the head
versus hair.
shaved.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Donald Trump, on that aspect, yeah, it's okay that he's on the.
Well, yeah, I mean, he holds a lot more credibility than Drew Carey, for goodness sake.
What would you,
And
yeah.
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose, Drew Carey. I think it's some other useless people that are in the celebrity.
Well, you know-
Shatner.
William Shatner, I think.
But you know what? At least Pete Rose got into some Hall of Fame, because he's not getting into the Baseball Hall of Fame
We all
anytime
know that.
soon.
Not anytime soon.
I wonder if Pete Rose bet on wrestling. You think?
He might have knew the answer.
But Trish definitely deserves it.
Yes.
Booker T. I don't know. Harlem Heat. I would have rather seen him and his brother together being inducted.
Yeah, I think the Booker T is really just a reward for being loyal.
Yeah, I think
You
so
know.
too. I think also like they need to focus more on the guys that paved the way. Now it seems like the last few years, if you retire, now you get in.
Right.
Where like in other sports, unless you're like Wayne Gretzky, who I think was the only one they allowed in early.
Yeah.
You gotta wait your because there's guys who did this before you. So it's like for Bruno to go in now, and like guys last year, Tyson.
Edge went in last year.
Yeah.
Edge went in last year, and Bruno Sammartino 2 or 3 decades before that is going in this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree with Edge going in. He, like you said, he did it all and won it all. But hey, he didn't have to go in immediately. Maybe except you got Shawn Michaels who went in immediately.
Yeah.
But I mean, they could have, because it's not like he's not going to go in.
Right.
There's guys that paved the way for there to be a Shawn Michaels that could be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So.
Like the Rock and Roll Express. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, I remember.
Those guys, I don't know, they're still working though.
They still work.
Yeah. Well, you know what? A lot of the guys, even the guys in the Hall of Fame are still. Well, Jerry Lawler, had a heart attack, but he was working up like the week before that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's going to, yeah.
The same day that he had it. heart attack,
He
was
just
on
got
the
done
time
with his.
match.
He just got done with his match.
Yeah. So, I mean, some of the guys that are in the Hall of Fame, they just don't quit. We see Tony Atlas still floating around out there. I mean, he was.
Yeah, we've seen him.
Yeah.
He was in Connecticut, what? December?
Something like that. Yeah. Right in East Haven, right around the corner from Jay's house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that was interesting. I actually think I defeated the Little Schmidt that night. I actually think that's a fact.
That was because of that floozy that you bring around with you.
Yeah, floozy.
Was that Tina or
It
Candy?
was, yeah.
Tina San Antonio.
He had a goon with him. He had a VSN goon.
Yeah.
Leave my minion out of this.
I don't know. All
He's
that
a
matters
very
is
loyal.
I got the 1, 2, 3. That's fact on paper.
There we go.
I'm
There
sorry
we go.
about that.
Does it really just come down to W's and L's?
You know what? Just because you're the champ right now, I'm gonna let you get away with that.
Yeah.
What about Mick Foley?
Deserving. I
Yeah.
think
This is
he
the one that
has-
deserves it the most.
He has done some amazing things in the ring, things that nobody
Things that
else will ever do, and it
I
will
can't
never
understand
happen.
why anybody would want to do them in any kind of sport or anything.
Well, I'm not going to take away from the legacy of Mick Foley, but I think Mick Foley being the size guy he was and not being as athletic or as built as some of the other guys had to do some of the things to get over.
Right.
And that was part of his charm, was that, here was a guy that would do anything, right, to entertain the crowd, thumbtacks and the barbed wire. I mean, the guy lost his ear, for goodness sake, gave an ear to the, lend me your ear. Well,
Lend me your- yeah.
he certainly did lend an ear.
That was in Germany.
Yeah, it
against
was.
Beer, and something happened. I don't know. In part of his ear, just
It was
Yeah.
in some sort of barbed wire match.
yeah.
No, it was a regular
No,
match.
it was a regular match.
There was some
He was
barbed-
twisted
He
in
was
the
twisted
ropes.
very.
I don't think the ropes were taped. They were just open
Oh.
cables.
Yeah, and it was one of those. He got caught up in the ropes, and unfortunately, they couldn't understand what he was saying. He didn't speak German, and in the hospital they threw his ear away. So somewhere in the landfill in Germany, it's just Mick Foley's ear. Right? If we get to get up, we can sell it at Ken's Cards. So
Where is Mr. Fogman?
he's floating around. I think he's picking the remnants off the buffet table.
He could be, yeah.
Well, I mean, we're holding you guys from eating. If you guys want to go have a bite, I know you guys just got in.
Questions.
All right. I don't want to hold you up.
Yeah.
But who else is on? We mentioned Trump. Bob Backlund. There was a guy that should have been in a long time ago, I
There's
believe.
another one, yeah.
You know what?
I was really happy to see him on the Hall of Fame. I actually took a page out of his book, but I improved it.
Yeah.
He had the chicken wing. I had the eagle wing. That belongs to me, and I really like his style. It was